sitting behind my aquarium. I buy a lot of corals online, and a lot of people, everybody shops online today. And, most of the time you feel comfortable, particularly if you're buying things within the US that you're going to get the items. But, I bought a coral from a company, Seattle Corals, and they never ship the corals. And corals are all shipped overnight because they are pretty temperature sensitive, pH sensitive, salinity sensitive. So they're always boxed, particularly in the winter, like right now, and shipped in a container, kind of like this. It's insulated, comes in a box, usually UPS, FedEx overnight. And corals arrive, you acclimate them to your aquarium. I've been growing and cutting and sharing corals with people online for years. But Seattle Corals never shipped the corals to my house. Sent them a copy of the invoice that I paid and everything and asked. They never responded. Texted them on their phone number, never responded. Called them, never responded. This is $400 of corals with a $50 UPS overnight shipping fee. So after 10 days of not hearing from them, I just opened a dispute with Citibank. You figure, hey, fraud, dispute type claim should be pretty easy to resolve. And I've dealt with Citibank before, oddly before, with their fraud department when I ordered something online that was being shipped to my house and they actually stopped it, which I thought was really odd because I ordered it online. It was coming right to my billing address. So this time I figured, hey, this is a genuine fraud case. Well, after I filed the claim, Citibank looks into it, talks to the merchant, and says, we received confirmation that the merchant shipped the item, which is really funny because, everybody's ordered something online. And when you order something online, I don't care if it's a bag of dog food. You'll get normally an email, a tracking number that says, your item's preparing to be shipped, pre-label. Then you get maybe an origination scan, departure scan from UPS, FedEx, or whoever's shipping it. I get none of that. But Citibank says they confirm shipping. And this is, I don't know if you can see any of it, but this is their confirmation. There's no tracking number. There's not even a carrier name. So Citibank puts the charge back on my account saying you're responsible for the corals. So I said, I'd like the shipping information so I can talk to UPS because the merchant won't give it to me. Citibank didn't have the shipping information either. So you figure this would be an easy resolution, right? Citibank is going to open this back up. Oh, we made a mistake. Oh, no. 10 phone calls later to their dispute department, talking to several people, including one person in disputes named Miles. And I said, look, this is moving from a dispute and a mistake of accidentally not shipping corals to submitting fraudulent shipping information that you guys have accepted. I said, this is the live coral. They're usually shipped in an insulated box with a heat pack, UPS overnight. And you're going to accept shipping confirmation without even a carrier name or tracking number and tell me that I'm responsible for it? You would think, okay, we'll look back into this. Well, our investigator determined you're responsible for it. And good luck on ever talking to their investigator. Because once the case is stamped, closed, and responsible, trying to reopen it and go through their protocol, nightmare. I sent a certified package to both Citibank and Costco because it's a Costco Citibank. People would understand the poor customer service you're going to get and potentially loss you're going to have because Citibank poorly handles the resolution on these cases. Even last week, I received a letter saying we're working on providing a permanent credit to your account. Pretty clear cut to me. You guys returned the money to the customer after the dispute when you never should have, and now you're telling me you're still chasing my money down. That's not the kind of protection I think most people think they have from a credit card company. It's certainly not the type I thought I had. And interestingly enough, I told the gentleman at Citibank who eventually called me, because when you talk to all these people, um, most of them can't even look at your dispute. You're talking to a customer service person. Miles was the least helpful when I tried to explain they submitted fraudulent information at their dispute department, and they should be turned over to the fraud department because you've intentionally submitted false shipping information. So I said, I'd like to move this from a dispute to the fraud department so they can actually contact the merchant. And they didn't consider it fraud. Fraud to me is when you deceive someone from merchant or goods or money. That's what they did. Claim they shipped something for $400, they never did. And trying to get the case reopened through Citibank, when you talk to people at the dispute department and they say the investigator determined you're responsible, is nearly impossible. There was only two people, and I'll mention them by name, a lady named Clomika and another gentleman named Seth, when I explained that these are live fish and crabs and corals, overnight shipped via UPS with a $50 shipping fee. I said, I want to reopen the dispute. And they said, well, you really can't. And I said, why not? I want to dispute the $50 shipping fee. Because once and they said, why would you just dispute the $50 shipping fee? And I said, well, you guys have already confirmed these items were delivered. So once I dispute the $50 shipping fee and you guys realize you don't have the tracking information, I'm going to call you next week and I'm going to dispute the things that you claim were in the box that was delivered that now you see was never delivered to get my $400 back. To go through all these hoops was ridiculous. And the funny part when I talked to Citibank was after I sent the certified package, they finally called, and maybe from your website, I don't know if you contacted them, that nobody can even look at your dispute forms when you're talking to someone is almost useless. You would think somebody would be able to just click on the attachment, say, what are you talking about? Oh, there is no tracking information. Let's reopen this. You would think in today's world, technology, that'd be pretty easy. Not the case with Citibank. It was an incredible nightmare to get my $400 back. And I actually had to file a police report because they're confirming that it was delivered. When the reality was, there's not even an origination scan on the items, meaning they never left that store, because once UPS picks it up, they have a tracking number and you get an email saying, hey, here's your package. There was no origination scan. It never left the coral store. Yet Citibank says, hey, you're responsible for these charges. The incompetence on handling what is a basic dispute was unbelievable. This isn't like something, we're in an argument, I put something in the mail with 2 stamps. This is UPS overnight shipping. I get more tracking information on my dog food than Citibank provided me on a $400 coral. So, I appreciate you guys taking the time to look into this, but I think a lot of people think they're better protected by the credit card companies than they are. I don't know if I was lucky enough to deal with the most incompetent people at Citibank, but to me, this was pretty basic. Show us the shipping information. Besides, if you actually shipped it, I can go back to UPS and file a complaint and say, hey, and I probably get some money, at least not if all of it, because the package partially insured. I couldn't get the tracking information. Citibank didn't have any of it, but yet I was told I'm responsible for the purchase. And oddly enough, when I talked to Citibank, I said, you do understand there's a loss and theft protection also on the card for any purchases within 90 days. So if somebody else is dealing with these types of situations, you want to start these things pretty quick. You got 90 days of coverage. And so I had to file a police report for the items that I never got, and then open up a case with their lost and theft department, because Citibank at one point to me is going to be responsible. If you're confirming it was delivered and I never got it, then it's clearly lost or stolen. One of the two happened. And Citibank is going to be in a position where they either have to provide me loss theft coverage or go back and actually do the job they should have done, which helps protect their own bottom line, and realize it was never shipped and take the $400 back from the merchant, Seattle Corals. But, instead it took 2.5 months to get my $400 back, 2 certified packages, one to Costco, one to CitiCard to reopen the dispute, and probably 8 to 9 phone calls after the dispute had been poorly investigated and charged back against my card. So, it's impossible to talk to anyone with any level of seniority at CitiCard, because this, to me, somebody could look at and go, this is concerning. It never left the store from what we can tell. But what you are telling me is I'm to pay for it and reward the merchant for lying and cheating. There was almost no level of protection. If you think that you're just going to file a dispute and someone's going to actually do their job and go, yeah, you're right, there is no shipping information here, return the $400 to the cardholder. That really wasn't the case. And I understand CitiCard can't investigate every charge, but at the end of the day, you're going to pay me either back through the dispute process or the theft and coverage process, one of the two. So to me, if CitiCard did their job a little better in their dispute department, they'd probably protect their own bottom line as well. Not to mention, hopefully not reward people for engaging in theft.